Leslie Isler, who is a what you call a well+being disruptor. And I'm so glad to bring her on, Leslie. Hey there. So let's unmute you so we can hear you.
Okay, we back.
We are back. We
Okay,
are
cool. Why would you let Pastor Tony preach the house down like that? I'm getting emotional. That was a good word.
It was definitely a good word. And so we need a lot of that. And that's why I think I wanted to start with him and then sort
Mhm.
of evolve into our conversation because, you are, it says well+being. Is that correct?
Well, it's like a little dash, but I
Okay.
just put plush. So,
Oh, okay. All right. All right. But
mixing it up a little bit.
you're a mindful strategist and a well-being creator. Talk about what you do and what this all means.
Absolutely. So I approach well-being in an unconventional way. I connect with organizations, practitioners, to meet people where they are. I know a lot of times we hear things like meditation and breath work, and I hear a lot of times I don't know how to breathe. I don't know how to do that. I'm like, well, if you don't know how to breathe, we wouldn't be talking right now. Or if you didn't know how to meditate, no one wants you to turn your brain off, right? But it's literally finding still and having those moments where you're connecting with yourself, but also if thoughts come, it's just like, no, thank you. I don't need that right now. I'm prioritizing myself. And that's how I like to approach things.
I'm going to make this tie in, and I don't know, I wonder how you would feel about this. But since
Okay.
we did just talk to Reverend Lee,
Hmm.
are talking about, maybe the need for more people to go back, to the church. But the whole thing of mindfulness and meditation and those breathing and quiet moments to me are the times when we can better receive the messages that a pastor like a Tony Lee or other is delivering, because otherwise we have this busy mind and we're not receiving it. But tell me how you feel about that. Tell me if I'm right or wrong.
No, for sure. And also, there's never like a right or wrong, right? It's literally your perspective, but it's also meditating on the word. It's also anytime I feel disconnected or I don't feel grounded, it's because I've started my day immediately doing things for other people or immediately getting on social media, listening to, other people's thoughts before I've tapped in with myself. And it always shows in how I feel. And your body keeps the score. So if you aren't connecting with yourself, there's literally nothing you can do for anybody else.
Hmm. So, what are some of the steps that you think people should take in 2026 to become more centered? I guess if that's the word.
Well, first thing, I think it's a mindset. If you don't love yourself enough, or if you're not considering yourself or this blessing that we have as a vessel, if that mindset doesn't start first, it doesn't matter what type of gym membership you have. It doesn't matter what type of technology, the red light therapy. I love it. But if I'm not right up here, or if I haven't connected with myself or to a higher power that, Pastor Tony talked about, it's really all in vain. So it's about staying rooted, staying grounded, all of the things that you need to do to connect with your inner being first so that you can be of service to others. I know Pastor Tony was talking about mobilizing and connecting, and you can't do that if you are not yourself um filled.
Hmm. We have come through a period. I mean, it seems like COVID was so long ago, but it wasn't. And
You
it's just,
forgot quick.
yeah, but
Real
it
quick.
changed a lot of things about how we interact with people. And so, how important is it to sort of have, I guess, individuals or to strengthen connections with others?
No, for sure. I think a lot of this is strategic. Like what we're going through is strategic to isolate us because we are forgetting our strength in numbers. We're forgetting what community does for us. I love the conversation earlier about we have exactly what we need. We're also accountable for each other, right? So when you're in isolation, I love, when, my grandmother or just, elders, they used to say, I need to lay my eyes on you, right? We're getting away from that. And because it's, I don't need you checking in on me. Like, I got this. I don't need to talk to nobody. Like, this is all, strategic to keep us, separated or isolated so that we don't come together, that we don't mobilize. So for me, I plan this event called No Agenda. It's a space for people to do absolutely nothing. If it's something is not on my calendar, it doesn't happen. So with that, I had to plan time to do nothing, to unplug, to relax. And I have invited people in, my ecosystem so that I could lay eyes on them, so that I could actually see like, hey, how you doing? And you can mask a lot of that through text and sometimes through, telephone. But when you actually look at somebody in their eyes, you can genuinely see, you might need a little bit more. Do you need a hug, right? Do you need to rap real quick? These are like all the things I like to, gather people for those reasons.
So this is a business pretty much that you have, right?
Yes, I'm a mindfulness consultant. My business is Wellness on the Fly. So it's one arm is mindfulness consulting, and then the other arm is, wellness, um, creativity, content creation. But it's all under one house.
So for someone that's listening and they're trying to figure out, okay, so Leslie, I mean, because Reverend Lee talked about the therapist. You're not a therapist.
Not a therapist. So
Okay.
yeah, that's this thing. I like to consider myself as like a bridge to a lot of these resources, right? So if you're an organization that's looking to make sure that your employees have some well-being initiatives, some events, some yoga in your office, I can help you with that. If you're a practitioner that's looking to connect with some of these businesses, that's looking to reach the community, I can also connect you with that too. Also, I know some good therapists. I like to say that I'm the bridge between a lot of these resources, but I'm also using content creation to spread the word about how to maintain your well being, especially through Black owned businesses and women owned businesses.
So let's go back to that, to the wellness activities that a business
Mhm.
might want to have. I mean, a lot of us, folks that you talk to, are small business owners,
Mhm.
but that's even better because now you're not trying to plan for 100 people; you're just trying to plan for five.
Right,
But
right.
what are some of those things that you offer? What?
So I offer is more so like consulting. So you just we start with a conversation and you let me know like what are some of the things you're dealing with. Are you stressed? Are you depressed? Do you feel like you don't have enough time to unplug? A lot of the things I'm helping people have a mental health day. I know that's a huge thing. DC has been voted the most overworked city 2 years in a row, and I'm pretty sure we're on track to be number three. So it's helping you plan a mental health day. Do you need some activities to do in the city, to do in Maryland, like closer to where you live? Do you want to connect with other people? Do you want to do it by yourself? I can ask you a series of questions and then give you some strategies and some recommendations of where to go.
Could you give us an example, maybe of a business that you worked with and what
Sure.
you were
So
able?
I love right now, I'm loving the Salamander series, Salamander DC. That's also a Black owned hospitality brand. They have this float experience and their pool where you can get in pretty much the floaters and you have a sound bath. That's literally one of my favorite things to do right now. It does cost. Also, I love going to Grounded in Anacostia. There's a wellness studio there. I love Pilates. I have a friend who is about to open up a wellness studio, Reformered in PG County in February. There's so many different avenues that people can go. Love Third Spaces, Chandler Mitchell Gallery for just going to see art by a Black woman owned gallerist. Like all of these things are things I enjoy.
Interesting. Okay. And so, do people actually call you and and ask for your services? I
No,
mean,
for
I'm
sure.
just trying to figure out, if it's, it's like, again, going back to Reverend Lee, who talked about going to a therapist, which we don't hear a lot of people talking about. But I think there's a younger generation now that's more comfortable with having those conversations. But then also, you're right, people don't really know how to wind down, and so, would that just be a phone call to your business or to you to say, look, I'm trying to wind down. I can't figure out how to do it.
And that's the beginning of the combo. And then I start to ask some questions about what's your budget? Where do you want to go? How much time do you have? Is it a day? Is it a week? I hear you're about to go take a trip somewhere. So like I can help point you in the right direction with, travel agencies. I just think it depends on, what you're looking for, and I can point you in the right direction. It
Well,
might not always be, me, but I know somebody who do. That's, what I mean by like community of there's so many talented people in the DMV area. So if I don't know it, I know someone who does. So
so before we wrap up, I just want to ask you if there was one piece of advice that you would give our viewers that they can start applying today to ensure a healthier, more balanced life in 2026. We're at the beginning of the year. Well, I have to, we always talk about these New Year's resolutions that we
mhm.
make on New Year's Eve and then forget them by, January 30th or maybe January 1st, 2nd.
Yeah, yeah, it's the ninth. I done messed up a few of mine, but it's
Yeah, yeah.
okay. Sorry
But,
number.
but what would be one piece of advice that you would offer um, our viewers?
Sure. Schedule a mental health day. I think 2026 has this super unique calendar where you can turn 11 PTO days into about 46 like full weekend like adventures. So like do that. Today, schedule a mental health day for yourself. I'm currently doing a campaign to get DC and the DMV area to have an official mental health day on May 22nd. So if you don't know what day to start, that's a good day to start. Also, that's a while from now, so you should probably do it before then. So just schedule a few mental health days, especially if your employer doesn't, you know, allot those hours for you. You have to be responsible for your life. You can't allow anyone else to do that. And that's also for entrepreneurs and creators. You might not always see those PTO hours, but you literally need to take time to do nothing.
So schedule at least one mental health day this year, or
I
is
feel like a quarter, right?
okay.
Right, at least a quarter. But I also work with people who do monthly. If you're in a position to check out once a month, which is, I think, as season goes on, I think that's also very important. And maybe it's not a full day, maybe it's a few hours, maybe it's a half a day. In the summer, I love summer Fridays where a lot of people are getting off at 12 and then the rest of the day is theirs. Just, and it doesn't always have to be during the week, it could be a weekend. Say no to a lot of, I'm actually talking to myself, say no to a lot of the things that you are putting on your calendar to do absolutely nothing and rest.
But do you recommend putting that on your calendar?
Absolutely. For me, if it's not on my calendar, it's not happening. And
Right. I thought I
you're
heard you say
intentional
that.
about everything else. You're intentional about your hair appointment. You're intentional about, going to see your friends, going out, to grab drinks. We put everything else on our calendar. So why wouldn't you put a time to do absolutely nothing or to relax on your calendar?
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, we've gotten again some good remarks. Some of your folks that you've worked with say that they've gotten a lot out of working with you, and
Oh,
they're
hey, y'all.
in your business. Yeah, yeah. So I say congratulations. I mean, we'll see where we are in maybe, April. You
Yeah,
said,
let's circle. Yeah, let's do it. Let's circle back because May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So
yeah,
yeah, let's see where we are during that time, and let's chat again.
yeah. I'm gonna. You just made me think about, the whole question of obesity that we were dealing with in our community. And
Mm,
when the Obamas became president and first lady, one of the things that, the greatest loser, exercise, all of that. And people were having these clubs all over the city, where they were challenging each other to lose weight
mhm.
and, reporting and all that. So, it sounds like something, a mental health day challenge could be.
That's easy.
uh,
That's easy.
yeah,
Let's do it.
yeah, something we need to talk about. We'll see where we are. Like I said, we'll measure it in May.
Yeah, no, for sure. Let's
Yeah,
absolutely do that. Appreciate your platform. Thank you for all that you do.
sure.
And obviously, I know your son, so you are obviously passing down, the family legacy and what the Washington Informer stands for in this city. And we're going to continue to support you in this moment.
Appreciate you as well, and the businesses that you're doing business with. Yeah, we
Of
need to reach
course.
out to them as well. So thanks. We will become partners in exposing or presenting some of these businesses to the
Let's
community.
do it.
Thanks. All right. Leslie, thank you so much. Happy New Year to you.
Same to you.
All righty. Have a great day.
Bye.
Okay.